This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix a button. Hi, welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Wednesday, December 11th. I'm here with Al, Brandon, Lindsay, and I'm Tori. Let's get right to it. Trump's campaign team has been hard at work since yesterday's articles of impeachment announcement. They have turned Trump into Thanos, the mega villain in the Avengers movies, saying in this tweet, House Democrats can push their sham impeachment all they want. President Trump's re-election is inevitable. Watch.
Inevitable.
On this solemn day, I recall that the first order of business for members of
That was super weird. Well, the creator of the Thanos, am I saying it right? Thanos character says he finds it disturbing they are turning Trump into a genocidal mass murderer. Thanos himself kills half the universe in the Avengers movie before being defeated. So is this funny, weird, or a little scary?
It's definitely a little weird, but I understand when artists with their intellectual property get upset when people use it for political purposes. I think Trump has done this in the past with Game of Thrones. After the Mueller report, he did Game Over with his back turned to everybody. I think with this, reading really deep into it, then you say, yes, genocidal maniac, but then if you really just look at what he's trying to say, I think he's trying to say the impeachment was a fail and these people may all lose their seats.
Lindsay, the Democrats are literally blown away out of existence. You think that's what he's trying to say?
Well, that's what I'm saying, blown out of their seats, because they all talked about how they're doing what's right for the country versus
you don't think it's threatening?
What's right for their actual seat?
You don't think it's like threatening?
No, I'm not going to go back to this threatening lives thing again. I really think that's a reach.
What do you guys think? I don't think it's funny at all. I think it's super weird.
Come on, Tori. That means you're acting like a snowflake. If you say that it's threatening and there's something,
Brandon.
He's
Good
like
try.
The Democrats are really going to fade away.
Finding
like that
genocide bad, a snowflake.
Why are we
good
looking
try.
so much? Why are we looking so much into that? You mean to tell me that you've never?
The president just tweeted out something that shows him clicking his fingers, and the Speaker of the House, the third in line to the president, is disappearing, and he's a genocidal killer. Yeah, I'm a snowflake. I'm a snowflake.
I think you're reading into it a little bit too much.
And I won't read.
I want to see what you have to say.
I don't know what's happening. Why are mommy and daddy fighting?
Gosh. Listen, it's a
look, I appreciate. I think you guys.
Sorry, I take it seriously.
You do take it seriously, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys trying to laugh it off. I think this is where we are with our politics. Our president is a strange person. I'm sorry.
Agree.
He's a strange person, whether you like him or not. That's a strange thing to tweet out. If the principal of your kid's high school tweeted that out, you would say that that's strange.
He didn't personally tweet it out.
But
his team did.
I don't think anything happens without his okay, especially for the people around him. So if you find this weird, that's fine. If you find this funny, which I'm sure a lot of his followers do, then that's fine too. I mean, look, this is the most divisive time we've been in recent memory. Trump is the most polarizing person we've dealt with in recent memory. We've seen it manifest itself on this table. And with things like this, it's open to interpretation. I interpret it as super weird.
But speaking of how divisive we are right now, Joe Biden comes out with the No Malarkey tour, and we sat up here and we made fun of it because you were saying, oh, it's so outdated. So this guy does something.
What does one have to do with the other?
But because it's just their promos, Tori. Like, I don't think that this man thinks that
if
he's going to snap his finger.
Obama did something where he was a genocidal maniac and the Republican Senate disappeared into non-existence, you don't think they would have a field day with that?
Well, Obama would sneeze and they'd have a field day with it.
Well, we want to know what you guys think. Are you Team Brandon, Team Tori, or Team
No, I don't have a
Al?
team on this. I'm just like, oh, this guy thinks he's Thanos. Let me move on with the rest of my day because I really don't care.
That's our president.
That's a scary thing, though, Brandon.
That's our president.
You refer to him as this guy.
This can't be the most mind-blowing thing that Trump has done.
I'm not saying it's mind-blowing. I'm saying it's scary. He says I'm inevitable, slaps his fingers, and people disappear. It's weird, in my opinion. All right, well, we're learning more about a deadly standoff at a kosher supermarket in Jersey City, New Jersey, that left 6 people dead yesterday. Police say 2 suspects shot and killed Detective Joseph Seals. The men then jumped into a stolen U-Haul and drove to a Jewish supermarket. Authorities say they walked into this Jewish deli and began shooting customers. Cops fired back, and 2-hour shootout finally ended when suspects were killed. The question today is whether this was a hate crime. The New York Times reports one of the suspects posted anti-Semitic and anti-police posts online before the shooting. I did some digging, and now they're saying from the CCTV footage, it looks like the Jewish kosher mart was in fact targeted as a place. So I can't see this not being turned into a hate crime.
I think we should take those online threats seriously. When you see them posted, you know, a lot of these shootings, before them, we see these manifestos or people writing things that are negative against one group of people, and I think we should really be looking into those and taking them more seriously and maybe even act on that. I know that'll be a lot of acting, but just at least alert authorities to look out for these people.
Like a red flag on social media law.
Yeah,
right?
and if you look online, you can see some of the cell phone videos captured from people in the area. I hang out in Jersey City all the time when I go back to New York, so stay strong, Jersey City. But you saw kids, you saw videos of kids crying in their classrooms because they're thinking this active shooter is coming to their school. So congratulations to all the men and women in the police departments all around Jersey City, Hoboken, New York City that came to help out. They quickly, because they said had the original officers not come and confronted them, then those active shooters could have went into different schools, or there would have been more of a body count. So great job, Jersey City PD.
Wow. All right, we are moving topics here. Well, Time Magazine is out with its Person of the Year. Drum roll, please. All right, it's Greta Thunberg. The 16-year-old teen climate change activist from Sweden is the youngest person ever to receive the honor. Time's editor-in-chief says Greta became the biggest voice on the biggest issue facing the planet this year, coming from essentially nowhere to lead a worldwide movement. Here's what Greta said at the recent UN Convention on Climate Change in Madrid.
Well, I'm telling you, there is hope. I have seen it. But it does not come from the governments or corporations. It comes from the people. The people who have been unaware but are now starting to wake up. And once we become aware, we change. People can change. People are ready for change.
She is so inspiring. Time also recognized Disney CEO Bob Iger as Business Person of the Year. The U.S. women's soccer team was named Athletes of the Year. Grammy nominee Lizzo is Time's Entertainer of the Year. And the Guardians of the Year are the public servants who testified in the impeachment inquiry.
I'm all about the Athletes of the Year. Oh, go figure. Just because the U.S. women's national team, when we think about sports, we think about sports as an escape from reality. Well, they use sports to confront reality, and we're talking about equal pay for women. And they set the tone when they sued the U.S. Soccer Federation on International Women's Day, and then they went and they handled business during the World Cup. And we're talking about a world-like impact. The the Australian Soccer Federation has now taken the money that both the men and women's teams have made, and they split it equally amongst both teams. So you see the impact that they've had worldwide. So shout out to Megan Rapinoe and the squad.
Well said. I mean,
Do you want to say anything?
How do you follow that up, Al? How do you follow that up?
I really liked Lizzo. I know the last time we covered her, it was her there behind at the Lakers game.
Yep.
But I think that she's kind of redefined, first of all, pop music. And just Lizzo's a person that there's very few artists where when you play them, everyone starts dancing.
Yeah.
And Lizzo's one of those artists, and also she's very body positive. And I think she just has a flair and an authenticity to her personality and to her music. And I think that's been definitely missing in music. So I'm a big music fan. I'm happy to see Lizzo on the scene.
I agree. That confidence is everything. So I appreciate the Lizzo thing too.
We play in the morning.
Yeah.
Our makeup room.
And for Greta to be the youngest person ever to win this, I think she really shows the power in today's youth. And so that makes me proud to see what else will come next now that she opened that door.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Parkland kids. It's like the whole microcosm of what the youth can do. I agree. Well, we have an update on a topic we've been talking a lot about. Remember this man who slapped a female reporter in the behind on live TV? Well, he's apologizing, saying he got caught up in the moment. Here's what he told Inside Edition.
I did not see her facial reaction as I just kept on running. And if I did see her facial reaction, I would have been embarrassed. I'd have felt ashamed, and I would have stopped, turned around, and went back and apologized to her. I was getting ready to bring my hands up and wave to the camera and to the audience. And there was a misjudge in character and decision making. I touched her back. I did not know exactly where I touched her.
Meantime, the reporter who called the man's actions violating and embarrassing has filed a police report and is pursuing sexual battery charges. So let's just start with the BS apology, because can we all agree that was a BS apology?
That is the lamest apology. This man is 43-year-old, married with kids.
2 daughters.
Right, he needs to not do that.
And what's his volunteer? What does he volunteer as?
A youth pastor.
Well, he got fired from that job. Former, exactly. But to go on there and double down on what you did is terrible. And to have this woman, she's embarrassed. He needs to be made an example out of now, in my opinion. I think that he should at the very least get community service or be slapped with a fine to show him that you're not just going to get over and just say, oh, I touched her back by accident. You see a million people running behind her just waving their hands in the air. Why were your hands on her at all?
I suggested a Taylor Swift situation in which she, even if she doesn't care about monetary damages, which if she does, good for her, but if she just wants to sue for $1, just so there's public record that this man did this, just so his daughters can know your dad not only did this, but then was such a coward that, first of all, he could have gone anywhere for his interview. He went on a very cushy Inside Edition.
Softball approach, right?
Yeah, and then went and gave that. Sometimes when you go to shake somebody's hand, your hand's too low and you hit them on the back, but you don't know where. And
it's the I'm sorry, but. Yeah, I'm sorry, but doesn't count. Just don't apologize.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege. Let's be honest. He and the Papa John's guy are the dumbest people in the world. And Prince Andrew, you sit down in front of a camera, and they tried to tee these guys up. The Papa John's guy, you said the N-word. What did we do? We gave you a black reporter. This guy, we gave you a female reporter. All you have to do is own up to it. In America, we forgive. But when you double down and you do that, that means that you have some sort of privilege where you think you can get away with it by explaining.
I agree with you. And Alexander Mann said he was slapped with a fine.
Yeah.
Clever.
There you go.
Very good. Hey, I'm trying to give love to the audience here. All right, well, we've got a few crazy videos that are going viral we got to share with you. We begin with this one showing multiple people with arms full of clothes running out of a Sears store in California. Now, the last person is caught by store security, drops all the clothes they were allegedly trying to steal.
Why would you risk it all for a Sears blouse?
I'd be like, Al, they got us, dog.
Sears has clothes? I didn't even know that.
Somebody did. And if you see the guy that got away at the end, he takes the amount of clothes and basically hands them to the security guard. And it overwhelms him and allows the guy to get out of the window.
That's good.
And we don't want to laugh at that, but at least no one was hurt.
That's true. That's true. All right, well, this next video will really warm your heart. Police in Dade City, Florida, paid off the layaway for 26 people at Walmart. They called the lucky recipients to give them the news. Take a look.
I understand you have some layaway items at Walmart in Dade City?
Let's get them off the phone.
Yeah. Well, we're going to pay that off for you and your family today.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
I am serious, yes, ma'am.
Wow, I love people paying. I want to be the person that gets to pay a layaway.
And those people only had till Monday to pay it off. So they had a couple days and the police went in there and paid it off before Monday.
Way to go, Men in Blue.
Right?
Women in Blue.
It's crazy to think how how quickly time passed. We interviewed Tyler Perry last year, and he did this.
That's right.
So,
That's
very cool.
right. All right, DBL is live and coming up. Stephen King is conjuring up more scares in his Hulu series, Castle Rock. We talk to the stars of the show a bit later, and you, the viewer, are our fifth host. With the rise of social media, are holiday greeting cards becoming a thing of the past? We're sharing your comments coming up next.
My favorite app is kind of a weird one, but I love it. It's called Flight Radar 24, and this thing is super cool. It basically has every single aircraft that's up in the air. It's sort of like a magic trick. You could be out with your friends and you look up in the sky and you say, hey, I wonder where that plane's going. And you're like, oh, that one's going to New Delhi.
Okay, so
Hi DBL Nation, Kelly Schubert here, the DBL digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news, but they want to talk about the Sears thing some more, so let's go chat with our host.
So here's my thing. I really wanted to know this. If somebody is robbing Sears for, like, let's say he had like 40 items of clothing in his hand, you have to load those up into your car somehow. How are you pulling off for security or police
Getaway
catch
driver.
you?
Getaway driver.
Yeah, but you have to load them.
Throw it in.
So it's already open. You tell me they were going to throw it in a van?
We gotta go. Look.
And like. Sears is nice. They're in the middle of, well, they already filed for bankruptcy in 2018. So, like, you know, show some respect. You know, they're probably going to go out of business soon. Let them get their last earnings before the place shuts down.
One of the culprits had Jordans on. I'm like, you wearing Jordans and you stealing from Sears? What are you doing with your life? But back in the day when I was a kid, this is a long, long time ago. There was a store in Richmond, Virginia called G.C. Murphy. And me and my brother used to go in there and just smash and grab. Like, walk in and be like, hey, I know it's not okay. This is back when I was a kid. You mean to tell me y'all didn't do things as a kid?
I never stole one thing.
You never stole one thing as a kid?
I think stealing is the most disgusting thing you could do to someone.
Back in the day when you were a kid,
I never stole.
There's a lot of things.
I was raised by goody two-shoes. I never stole.
I was raised
Speaking
by
of handwritten
guys.
cards, I ripped a couple of them when I was younger.
What'd you do?
Remember I told you I ripped them up?
Yeah, that was weird. She would rip up cards, not steal them.
But I left them there.
Your child psychologist.
I know. What was your problem?
That's a lot weirder than
It's
come
a
on, than
really
stealing.
I don't know, the stealing thing, I think when I hear people tell me, I'm like, oh, you weren't terrified of your parents.
Right, I was scared.
I was so scared.
That's the thing.
Never.
Like,
No,
I
it's you thought you could get away with it. I was terrified of my
It wouldn't
dad.
even be
Until
worth
your
it.
mom
Yeah.
sees random
I
candy
would
in your
eat
pocket.
myself alive
Like,
with fear.
I would
There's
be.
no
My
way.
dad would write a note,
it's
and I'd be
crazy.
like,
I
"Oh
started
God."
and then your parents would drag you in there to apologize. You know that embarrassing.
man.
I started a candy business when I was in 4th grade. I used to steal and go in and flip.
I love this music, huh? All right, well, welcome back to DVL Seasons Greetings. It's time for fifth host, but not everyone may appreciate the thoughtfulness of a traditional holiday card. Well, with the rise of social media, plus the time-consuming task of collecting addresses and concerns about the environment, more people are talking about canceling Christmas cards. Now, an elementary school has even banned the tradition. So, DBL Nation, is it time to go paperless for the holidays?
All right, Violet from Facebook says, there's no way I'm ending my Christmas card tradition. I make my own cards and customize them with my sister's bright yarn felted stars and include clippings from my mom's scrapbook from the 40s.
That's cute.
That's awesome.
So cute.
Listen, I might be a grandma here, and I agree. I like a good handwritten note, just like I like to read a real paper printed book and not an iPad or a Kindle. I think a handwritten note around the holiday shows that you really care and took the time out.
Does anybody think that Lindsay heats her iron up on the stove?
Yeah.
I think you're old school at Lindsay's house. I love it. I do like getting a handwritten note. I'm making fun. I feel you.
Wait your turn. Wait your turn. Thank you. Jeremy from Twitter says, I don't want this extra trash in my mail or email.
Oh, Lord.
These days, a text suffices.
Jeremy.
Yes, I'm with. I'm
Trash?
sorry.
You're with him?
I'm with Jeremy.
Some people keep those cards.
Do not
Forever.
Do not send me a card. I don't care that you have a picture of you and your kids in front of your Christmas
Mine never
tree with
include a
your
picture.
dog named Buddy. I don't care. Now, if you're gonna send a text to some of us, just send an individual text. Don't make it into a group text to where every time someone answers with the little thumbs up or emoji
know,
or
that's
something,
so annoying.
then it goes off again.
I'll make sure I don't say Merry Christmas to you.
Individual text, Lindsay, and I will write back Merry Christmas to you, my
I'm writing in the DBL chat. Merry Christmas.
All right, Al, your turn. Go ahead.
All right. Diane from Facebook says, I've sent 75 cards so far this year, and I want my family and friends to know I'm thinking about them. I cannot afford to send them all gifts, which would actually be worse for the environment. Diane, look, I appreciate a handwritten note, and I'm not on Team Brandon on this one. For me, I understand where you're coming from, Brandon, but I do like to see a nice little family gift card. You usually get like a nice little update on the family. You can see kids are growing.
Really?
Look, yeah, every once in a while, like once a year.
Can I show handwritten notes where like actual, hey, how you doing, whatever you're writing, not a picture. I hate getting the pictures in the mail.
No,
People's
the
families.
picture on the front and then like, hey.
Yeah, I don't like the
Lindsay
pictures of the
started
families. I want
college
somebody
next
just to
year.
write me a note. Here's how's it going.
Here's the thing with me is Jews never did this. So I don't know this tradition very well. But
Do you find it weird when you get a picture in the mail?
Well, it's just funny because it's like 4 pictures of them kind of far away and then just like, it just seems like a waste.
Yeah. Every family has like a funny one where they're like all looking at their cell phones or something, but it does kind of help you, like if you don't see somebody that often, maybe 2 or 3 times every couple of years, just to be like, oh, look
how much Caitlin has grown.
Lindsay's going to college.
Tori's put on weight. See, that's what I'm worried about.
I would never.
Yeah, right. Well, coming up on DVL, we're chatting with Lizzie Kaplan and Elsie Fisher, the stars of Stephen King's spooky Hulu series Castle Rock. Don't miss it. Coming up next.
It's only a matter.
I'll send it right now.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So in high school, someone said they stole a Snickers bar when they were a kid.
Yeah, I remember I stole some gum once when I was a little kid.
I never did.
I was little. I was probably like 6, but I was so scared.
Hey, Michael, do you?
It was never worth it for me. I don't know, and I know you have you come from a pretty traditional family. You have an authoritarian dad and mom. Like,
I was just bad. I was just bad, Al.
Man.
I was just bad, man. I can't. Yes, because when we did get caught, we would get disciplined.
Yeah.
You can't say certain words these days. We'd get disciplined. You'd be scared, but then 3-4 months later, it's like I got a candy business to run in school.
I'll tell you, my dad was so real. I was with some guys that got caught.
And you got in trouble?
Shoplifting. And I got yelled at like I was still and he knew I didn't.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But it was just like he was like, you can't, and it kind of taught me. He was like more like, you can't be in a car where people have done anything. It's like
Smart.
kind of a life lesson I took with me.
Don't be an accessory.
Yes, the lookout for the bank robbery is just as in trouble as the person that does it. So that was a low-level way to teach that lesson, but I remember it.
Yeah, you still remember to this day.
Yeah, definitely.
Someone says my grandma still sends me a card with $50 in it, so yes, please keep sending the cards.
Get that, $50.
Good.
Thanks, Grandma.
Welcome back to DBL. Stephen King's psychological horror story Castle Rock is back for season 2 on Hulu. Co-host Stephanie Jones caught up with Elsie Fisher and Lizzie Kaplan, who plays Annie Wilkes, the character Kathy Bates popularized from the 1990s Misery, to talk about scaring audiences this time around. That's in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Lizzie Kaplan and Elsie Fisher, welcome to Daily Blast Live. Season 2 of Castle Rock tells us the origin story of one of our favourite Stephen King characters, Annie Wilkes from Misery.
It'll be blood on Christmas before I let them joy. I'll throw my blame body between you and anybody.
So, did you both grow up as Stephen King fans? And if so, which book scared you guys the most?
My way into the Stephen King world has always been through the movies, which I now see is maybe not the way to do it. Now I have to backpedal and read everything.
I was also a Stephen King fan growing up. I'm still growing up. But my dad used to read me a bunch of the short stories as a kid. Like I always liked Four Seasons a whole lot. Yeah, and I enjoy continuing to be a fan now.
Kathy Bates originated the role of Annie Wilkes in the 1990 hit Misery, and Kathy was terrifying. So Lizzie, am I gonna have nightmares watching you? And what's different about the version of Annie this time?
I sure hope that you're going to have nightmares. That's what we're going for. Our story, Castle Rock, it happens before the events of Misery. By the time Annie Wilkes gets to Sidewinder, Colorado, she is fully off her medication. She's living in isolation. Our Annie is still very much a citizen of the world. She has a daughter that she has to look out for and take care of. She has to work. She has to make money. She has yet to isolate herself.
And she's still trying to be normal.
Yes.
As normal as she can.
She's self-medicating. She's doing the best she can.
And both of you are shined in your roles as angsty teens. So Lizzie as Janice Ian in Mean Girls, and Elsie as Kayla Day in 8th grade. So I want to know, what's the most desperate thing you've done to try and make a friend in real life, girls?
I don't have any friends.
Oh.
Seems like too much work.
No.
No friends. Elsie is my one friend. She's 16. I'm fine with that. And I guess I shower her with praise and gifts. That's kind of desperate.
Yes.
But you have to when you only have one friend. It was much easier when we were in rural Massachusetts.
I know.
She was all mine. Yeah, now I have to share her with the other children.
Well, it was awesome talking to you both today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. Now, I know what you're thinking. I look real cute, don't I? Right? Thank you, Steph. But I know, we're out of the studio. How crazy. And I brought my beautiful friend, Miss Steph Jones.
Hey guys.
Thanks for coming with me, Queen. Now,
anytime.
we are in the magnificent Target, honey. And the reason why is everyone's traveling during the holidays, or you might be getting ready for a holiday party. But you might not know what to grab or when to grab it. You don't have to go to Nordstrom, you don't have to go to Neiman's, but you can go to Target, honey, because they have everything you need. I'm going to show you exactly what you need for all your beauty necessities under $30. Are you ready for it? Steph, are you ready?
Are you ready?
Since I've been ready. Okay, girl, let's go.
Let's go.
Over here. Steph, now, I don't know if you knew, but your skin is actually the largest organism in your body. Did you know that?
No, not until now.
Well, this is why we have to take care of it, sis.
Yeah.
So, on to skincare, girl. This is for all my girls who might be having issues with texture.
That's me.
Okay, and a little bit of everyone
Let's be
says.
honest.
Everyone says, and it's good to start at a very early age. Now, the number 7 Protect and Perfect Intense Serum is great because it's going to help to lift wrinkles and fine lines in the skin. Now, this guy's also great because it's going to keep that skin nice and smooth. And did you see that price point? It's $29.99, but right now, it's buy one, get one 25% off.
Oh, that's really good.
Auntie, that is the goods right there.
That's
now,
good.
if you're kind of on the fence with that, they also have a little 3-piece product kit here
Try
for
before you
$30.
buy.
Exactly. You don't even have to spend all that coin if you don't know what you need, okay? So, now, I don't know if you know about a little brand called Cetaphil, but it's a great brand for people with sensitive skin, okay?
So,
now,
okay, sensitive.
Exactly. One of my favorite products from them is their Hydrating Eye Gel Cream. Now, eye gel cream is so important for me. These guys are great because it's going to provide you hydration. So much of the time we're going through dry weather, we're going through traveling, your skin kind of freaks out, especially your eyes, and this is the first area that you notice of aging.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yes, girl. Think about that one auntie that you already had in your head. I know.
Yeah.
Now, this guy's only $12.69, and guess what?
What?
It has hyaluronic acid.
What does that mean?
It retains moisture and hydration, which is so great. So I love this with a little humidifier next to my bed at night to suck up all that water, honey, and get me all nice and glowing, okay? Put that guy right in the bag. Now, our next one is going to be right across the alley. Target just set us up so well, Queen.
What is it? What is it?
It's the Positively Radiant Brightening Cleanser from Aveeno. Now, I love Aveeno because it's truly affordable. It truly gives you good results, too. Now, this guy's only $6.39 for this brightening cleanser, but what it has in it is vitamin C. Vitamin C is going to help to make sure that all those dark spots, sun damage is going to be lifted and brightened, or any other scarring that's happening in your face. These guys are great because you can use them day and night, and it acts as that first cleansing finish. You don't want to use something hard like Dial soap or anything because it's going to dry out your face, whereas this guy's going to help to continue to give you that hydration through the day. So, I think that was all of our skincare there.
Okay.
With that being said, I'm gonna head right back to the studio with you, girl. We're gonna give you a nice little mini facial going on, sis. Get the skin plumped, okay? Gotta show you a couple of my tricks with these, too.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you at the studio.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Al, what do we have?
All right, Tori, our boy Ray says, my grandma, and he's talking about the cards, obviously, he says, my grandma still sends me a card with $50 inside, so yes, Keep those cards.
Oh, Grandma.
Absolutely. Grandma sent her my
Grandma
address.
vibe, I like that.
There's nothing like a little money in a car.
Oh, grandma's money is so
You never
nice.
And you
outgrow
know,
that.
is it true that when you have a kid, you get disregarded? My sister said she's worried that she's going to get no Christmas presents this year. She has a 3-month-old. Is that true?
Oh, yeah. You're
Just for the kid.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
it.
See, uphill battle right there. You never knew, right? Be good to each other. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.